Hello, everybody. Today, I would like to speak about what it means to be polite internationally. And I would also like to ask you for your feedback. When we think about being polite internationally, that brings us to international language, inevitably. And it goes without question that today, international language is English. So, obviously, first we need to learn linguistic formula. We need to be polite linguistically. That means we need to learn how modal verbs operate, how to use formula could you, would you, how to use indirect question, tag question, things like that. But this linguistic aspect is really, really crucial. That goes without question. Nobody debates that. However, let us not forget about other aspects. Let us talk about common sense aspect. Common sense aspect still matters, doesn't it? It still matters not to waste other people's time. It is polite not to waste other people's time. I mean to say is that it is important to come to meetings on time, whether it is online or face-to-face meeting. It is also polite to structure your email nicely so that the other person, the addressee, will not waste time reading and reading it over and over again because it's difficult to get what the message is. The same applies to any oral act of communication, like telephone call or presentation or meeting or negotiation. It is also polite to be prepared for oral act of communication, to structure your presentation or telephone call or interview, etc. Prepare questions beforehand. Prepare what you're going to say first, what you're going to say second, how you're going to finish your act of communication. Right? This is also polite, and this also matters. And it is as important as using linguistic formula, if not more important. All right, let's proceed. Apart from common sense aspect, there is emotional aspect. By emotional aspect, I mean that while communicating internationally, we always have to project positive image. We need to get across the message that we are well intent, that we are meaning to be friendly. Our emotional posture is perceived by many different manifestations. Sometimes we are aware of them, sometimes not. But most often it is perceived by the expression of our face. And in terms of Zoom and telephone communication, it is perceived through our intonation. It is very, very important to maintain friendly, friendly, calm, relaxed intonation. One more thing, small talk. Small talk is a very, very weighty phenomenon via which the individuals make sure that the other party is meaning well. He or she is well intent. It's very important, it's crucial, essential to be able to maintain small talk. It largely helps to establish a healthy emotional atmosphere and to help things go smoothly. So this also has to be taken into consideration. And this is also equally important as a linguistic formula, if not more important. And finally, one more aspect, last but not least, cultural aspect. By cultural aspect, I mean different cultural peculiarities, customs, habits, manners, relationships, employee to employer, employee to subordinate, to top management, behavior at meetings, whether it is polite to ask questions, whether it is polite to interrupt the speaker, or whether you should ask questions only when invited and if invited. It varies from culture to culture and has to be taken into consideration. There might be other aspects, like some nations do not tolerate being criticized in public. But some nations will take it all right, no problem whatsoever. Some nations will take it very difficult when being joked about publicly. But some nations will even seek it because it will break the ice and it will somehow liven up atmosphere. So what I'm trying to say in this video is that we are only learning how to be polite internationally. And the concept of being polite in international way involves a lot of aspects, and we are only beginning to understand and to learn them. That's a great study that, and it needs time and effort to study, check against different nations and apply to practice. So in this video, I'm asking you, I would like to say that I would very, very much appreciate if you leave comments and you give me your examples. You teach me what it is polite in your nation and what it is impolite. And give me examples when cultural aspect was appreciated, positive examples, and negative examples when cultural aspect was ignored. So please teach me what it is polite and what it is impolite in your nation. And please give your examples. I would very, very much appreciate every comment. Thank you very much. That's all. Goodbye.